Aries, it's Taroscope time. Aries, we've got a lot to talk about. The full moon on December 14th in the sign of Gemini lands in your third house of communication. Now, full moon, remember, is a release energy. We want to let go of the things that no longer serve us. So if there's, my cat came to see you, see his tail? If there are some things that you feel like you need to get off your chest, now would be a really good time. Good time to like send a letter to end things. Send a letter, so antiquated, but also so effective. Seriously, if you want to get, like if you're done with things, it's good to send that letter and be like, here's where we part ways. Resignation letters, great time for resignation letters. Also a good time just to send that final email that's like, we will never be conversing again. Or anything like that. Just, it's a great time for you to say, you know, we're done with this whole thing and I can't do it anymore. But you know, I don't think you're going to feel better unless you communicate and you get it off your chest and you say what you need to say. Otherwise, it's like this floating unfinished business, right? Full moon is about releasing. Well, I mean, I guess worst case scenario is you write a letter and burn it when you're done. Never, you don't have to mail it, but I have this feeling you might feel better if you just get it off your chest. On December 29th, we have a new moon in the sign of Capricorn, and it falls in your 10th house of public recognition and career. Now, I'd say this is pretty good stuff. Just because the 10th house is naturally ruled by Capricorn in general, so the fact that you're having this Capricorn new moon there, you will have a chance. There's an addendum. It's also Mercury retrograde, right? From December 19th to January 28th, we've got Mercury retrograde, and that just means communication is super fuzzy, and we don't really want to start anything that's brand new. We want to work on existing projects or revisit things. So, and they're both smack dab in your 10th house of that public recognition. But the good news is you have the opportunity to go back and really re-envision how you want to be seen in this world, and especially when it comes to your career. So let's just say, is there something maybe you've either studied, worked really hard to do, and then sort of let go of it, gave up on it? Now, this new moon on December 29th in conjunction with that Mercury retrograde, and when I mean conjunction, I mean like they are hanging out together. They're like two friends on the couch watching Gilmore Girls. I just started watching Gilmore Girls. With those two energies together, the first energy is, you know, hey, look, I'm going to plant a seed in my house of recognition, how I want to be seen. And the Mercury retrograde is also like they're right next to it saying, oh, but we can't do anything new. We have to make sure that we do things that are existing. So what this means is you have a chance to honestly reinvent yourself by taking a look at some of the things that have fallen to the wayside and planting seeds and reigniting them, giving them new life. That would be a great energy for you for this new moon. You may find yourself reigniting some old things that used to bring you recognition, or at least made you feel authoritative. But yeah, that's kind of the energy for you. Like, but nothing new. Let's try not to embark on a new journey. Bodhi's back here. He's like, hey, he wants to hang out with you guys. He's just hanging out in the background. It's not that you can't do anything new during Mercury retrograde. Nothing horrible will happen, but nothing will come of it. It's like you'll have to go in and revise it before it's workable, usable. So, that said, on with cards. All right, Aries. Okay, good energy happening. That just flew out of the deck. You got good energy going this month. Harmony, so things, some of the choices that you're going to be making, the energy is, the universe is conspiring to make things happen for you, and I can't find anything negative with that, other than the fact be careful what you wish for this month. Stubborn. Why do I get the feeling you're having a hard time figuring out what you want this month? Oh, because you are. Well, the Page of Pentacles popped up. Page of Pentacles are like earthly messages, so I feel like your body's telling you a little bit more about what it wants, which sounds may sound a little silly, but you may, I mean, that could be an increase or decrease in sex drive. It could be your body telling you where you should be versus where you're not, by getting like, you know, sometimes you get stomach aches when you go places that you really don't want to be. Your stomach is like, ooh. Well, at least mine does. But it works headaches. Sometimes, you know, your throat hurts if you're saying Either if you're not saying what you need to say, full moon on December 14th, or you're saying too much. But I just get the, okay, aw, well that's good. It's time. You need to loosen up and have a little fun. It looks like you haven't had enough fun lately. And this looks like, this is like a girlfriend gathering, but it doesn't have to be girls. But it's just like getting together with close friends and then celebrating and having a nice time. So that seems like it might be on the agenda. It definitely will make you feel well, but it also makes, there's also this defensive nature. So it's like, I think sometimes revisiting some past events might make you feel defensive. So maybe some of those gatherings that you're craving to have, like intimate gatherings, maybe don't do them like you have done them in the past. Maybe it's time for, well, especially you don't want to be seen the way you've always been seen. I get this feeling that you want to be seen in a different way, and even you're not sure exactly what it is yet. And that's okay. You don't necessarily have to know right this second. But the energy is definitely right for you to figure this out, and you're going to find out that you're getting signs, especially from your body, on what you don't want to be seen as. But you could use a good gathering with some friends and chat with them about it, people that you trust. And not everybody drinks, I know, but this is girlfriends drinking, as this card has always been. These are girlfriends drinking, having a good time. But again, and who knows, you may find yourself you might find yourself in the middle of a situation where you thought it was one thing, and then all of a sudden you're like reverting to old behavior, or at least old feelings, like this residual shaking of energy that you're like, ugh, I told myself I would never feel like this again, and I feel like it. And that could be that signal from your body. And it doesn't have to be girlfriends. It could just be one of those situations like, oh, this is a new situation of an old event. Like meeting for drinks with a new group of people, you know? But you used to have drinks with a certain group of people, but now you have drinks with these people, and you thought it would be different, but actually it makes you feel the same. So then you have to re-examine, oh, what is it? It's the event, not the company, that I can't fully be around anymore. Because it makes you feel defensive. There's some defensive energy this month too, about choices and whatnot. And I would encourage you to be a little defensive, actually. Perhaps it's time for you to push back a little bit. It might be the nudge that you need that gives you the confidence to move into the next phase of how you want to be seen, like up in that 10th house like we were talking about. So there's that. I think that's not a bad thing at all. Sometimes we have to be a little defensive. Not, horribly rigid, but rigid and defensive are two different things. More like you have to defend yourself. Let me revise that a little bit. Let me just say, you weren't expecting you had to defend yourself, but you might have to defend yourself at some point. And it's probably, the energy is right for you to do that. It also might, just as an example too, put this together. If you're someone who's not used to defending yourself in the moment, you defend yourself in the moment, guess what happens? People look at you differently. That's your 10th house. The way you're shown, your public appearance to the world. All of a sudden, you've created kind of a fold in your own reality and a shift in the way that people see you. Now, of course, this is all just an example, because we all have something that triggers us, right? And I have this feeling you're going to be triggered, especially in the fact that you thought it was going to be something different, but it's actually the same old, and you realize you can't act the same anymore. You actually can't act like that. You have to act like, oh, if I want the situation to change, I have to respond differently. Aries Oracle. Oh, there it is. Okay. Wow. Ooh, I love this one. Of course I do. I'm a tarot card reader. Intuition. This goes along with everything I've been saying. You gotta trust your gut on this. Aries love control. Especially just the, as long as they're first and out there and kind of like the one that has set the date, set the wheels in motion, they feel good. But what happens when it doesn't feel good, right? That's when we have to shift things. And that's what this intuition card is all about. It's about it's giving you permission to trust your gut over your brain. or your manners or your any of that bullshit. Like, you have to trust your own intuition this month, because it's going to lead you where you need to be. And even if this seems like discombobulated and like, no, that's not me, there's nothing there, there's going to come a moment when you're like, oh wait, it is. This is the situation we're talking about. And you know, I hope it's not family stuff, but you never know, because it's the holidays and all that and all the kinds of weird stuff and all the energy going on here in the States with our election. And oh, I'm telling you what. Thank you, Aries, so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like and comment. I love to hear from you. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mysticassistant. I post tarot card readings every day. Have a happy holiday, and I'll see you soon. Yay! Birdie, pick your nose, pick your nose, pick your nose. Oh, okay, bye.